Shenana begin.
We're gonna
All right.
shenana
Yeah,
again and
good.
again and again.
Hello, and welcome back to Dungeons and Dad Jokes, um, where we never know when we're actually starting. I
What have
need
we
to. I need
started?
to. Yeah. All right.
That's halfway to
For the,
finish.
I know, right? For those of you who are joining us tonight, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join in the chat. Let us know that you're there and you're watching. You can also find us on Dungeons. Nope, been too long. dnDadJokes.com, where you can also find all of our other social media links, which is also below in the description of this video. Um, and come and check us out on all of our links. Follow us everywhere. It's fantastic. We just got done with Tucson Comic Con this past weekend. Had a lot of
Yay.
fun. Thank you for those that came out and joined us on a game. It was a lot of fun. Well, joined me on a game. It was a lot of fun. So we have some things coming up in September. Horror Fest, right, is in September in
Yep.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Nope.
Nope.
Horror
I should
Fest
just
in
let Rhonda do
Frankfort,
this.
Kentucky, and
Still out in the
the
sticks.
Northern Kentucky Anime Fest is in Hebron. They're
All
coming
right.
up. They're on our webpage. I'll be there. And
Yeah.
then November. Hey, if you're in our area, November, I'll be at Acadicon. Tickets went on sale the 18th of last month. Get your tickets because you're going to be able to get in on all the action soon when they open up to be able to register for the events. So
There you go. And
I'll be
also in,
doing
oh,
a
go ahead.
panel on homebrew and I will be doing some game tables.
All right. Also in November is RenCon, so check that out as well, right here in Tucson. Um, if you
I'm
go to
mad
our,
and sad about that
I know, I'm very sad you're not going to make it. Um,
What's up with that?
work.
yeah, what is up with that? Um, so check it out on our website. All of our upcoming events have links to those events where you can purchase tickets and find out more information about those events. So check it out. Anything else? Nope. Okay. Then let's jump on into tonight's session, which is 78, called Troubles Arise. However, since we have not played for 4 weeks, let's refresh ourselves on what happened the last time we played.
What
I'm
character are we
playing
playing?
Browning in this campaign, right?
Oh, no, you're not. I have to be
Uh,
prepared for Browning, okay?
what character am I playing here?
All right. Last time we played Cordeth, I did it
For
again.
death? Wow.
Cordath and Ordeith. I want to combine your names so bad. Finally get a chance to talk about their past, finding out that Ordeith also did not really remember what happened in the ritual, but does remember being awakened by a lich, who is now his patron. They share about their separate lives up to that point and begin to compare their swords, realizing that their swords were forged from the same sword, the broken sword of Velsharoon, and was forged into two swords by the Raven Queen, and that the runes etched upon their swords are in opposite. Ordeith also shared his knowledge that the runes do indeed show death, dark, balance, light, and life. Evangeline watches and listens to this conversation, recording it all in her book, of course. And after some time, she pulls out the cards and notices that the Ruin card, because they are still in the Feywild at this point, the Ruin card is no longer showing shadows and clearly sees Ordeith with a shadow that seems to be Kadeth behind him. In the foreground lies Reneo and Reproot. Then she pulls out her orb and focuses on Ordeith. Um, and sees that the ritual with the demon parts, and in the center was Ordeith. And as the blood sacrifice was made, a blinding light flashes, pushing her out of the vision and causing some psychic damage. She asks Severus about this and receives what has been must be. Through some questioning, Zandra, who was revived in that cavern, shares that she once knew Shallow and asks the group to let her know that she is still in the Feywild. Through telepathy, she shares the name Halestra with Evangeline, in case it is needed. Zandra then orients the portal to the material plane and allows the group to go through. Ordeeth does join them to the material plane. They arrive in a circular room with spheres suspended in the center. Along its walls are several panels of buttons and levers. Kadeth looks into a small window of the sphere in that center and sees a tentacle pass by. Upon investigating the levers and buttons, Fix realizes that these are capable of altering physics, in essence, but they are used in conjunction with one another. Then connects to the creature inside and confirms this. Um, Cortez, the creature inside the sphere, he confirms that he is the protector of Siamam and the controller of all things natural within it. After learning of the destruction of the city, buttons and levers begin to move. Fix is able to understand that Cortez, when presented with new information, will attempt to adjust whatever is necessary. When the group leaves the cavern and discovers reversed gravity, Cortez quickly adjusts it again to return it to normal. Forsyth then teleports the group back to the Trinson residence, where Ordeeth experiences a moment of sluggishness, which he overcomes quickly. Fix informs Philaethus of Ordeeth's extended stay, and then goes to Arias and gets caught up on any news. After a respite, the group disperses to various locations to report or gather information. Fix goes to visit Gidna, Kadeth and Ordeeth go to the temple, and Evangeline heads to the Amber Pope. Forsyth, um, I'm assuming you're staying at the residence unless somebody says, hey, come along, unless you want to go along with somebody.
Yeah, after checking the roof and all the vantage points they're at, I will go to the library and start looking for more creatures that I can, or beasts that I can change into.
All right. Pull out the zoology book. All right. Can make an ABCs of Forsyth.
Yeah.
A for alligator.
It's a picture book. I brought my crayons.
All right. So I had that all clear, correct? I mean, I
Clear
did
as
just
mud.
watch the video yesterday, I think. All right. So let us start with Fix. You are headed to the Crown's Tavern.
Plaza.
I think that's the name of it. I don't remember.
That sounds about right.
To check on Gidna. When you arrive, there's nobody there at this moment because, well, you know, they've pretty much made this for Gidna at the moment. So there's no other extra patrons. But there is the bar wench, and I think her name was Rosie. I should have wrote all these names down. I think her name was Rosie, that runs the kitchen. And you see, as you walk in, you see Gidna kind of just sitting by the fireplace. She's not in the room, and she is staring at the fireplace.
I go and sit down next to her.
She does not acknowledge.
I'll sit there about 5-10 minutes. If she doesn't acknowledge, I'll give it.
It will take 5 or 10 minutes. After you clear your throat, she will kind of come back, and she's like very still, like she's not moving at all or anything. She kind of comes back. She turns around and she looks at you and she smiles. She's like, Fix, brother, it's been a while.
Quite. Where were you? Just
Well,
now.
I've been
No, you were somewhere else.
perhaps um lost in thought,
Are you
I
okay?
guess.
Do you want to talk about it?
You know, I can't quite find the words for it. I just get, I almost take a back seat for a while.
Falling into old habits of when you and the scarab were connected, whose name I can't remember.
I don't know if I ever gave it a name. Did I give it a name?
I thought you did. Or did we just call it Darling?
I think we just called it Darling.
When you and Darling were connected?
I mean, probably. Sometimes it's easier just to check out, let things be.
Yeah, unfortunately. Makes some of our endeavors more difficult.
True. I mean, I guess if I had something to focus on instead of
Well,
staying here in the tavern.
yeah.
You see her twitch a little bit. Oh.
Well, you will be happy to know that we are closer and closer to alleviating some of those concerns.
Oh, good. The sooner the better.
So, what is the first thing you're going to do when you get out of here? You
Go
going to
home.
Disneyland? Oh,
I'm going to Disney World. No, I am going to go home. Have you run into, oh gosh, what is his name? She will mention her significant other's name.
oh crap! I didn't know she was married.
Well, she's not married, but
It
it's her
is
boyfriend.
Her
Golthorn.
boy.
Golthorn.
Gawthorn. That's it. I knew it started with a G, but I could not remember his name.
Oh, I don't
Garthorn.
even remember that. No, I
Oh,
have
it's
not.
been a while.
Not in a while. Do you want me to follow up on and check on him?
Nah, he's got things to do. He'll come when he's ready.
Hmm. I'll see what I can find out.
All right. Don't pressure him.
I'm not going to pressure him. I'm just going to find out where he is. You've been here
Okay.
for how long now?
4 weeks.
Yeah,
Maybe here.
If something happened to someone I loved and they were back, I don't think I'd allow 4 minutes to pass before I got to them. If I had any say in the matter.
That's fair. Yeah, I
And you
don't
know
know where
me.
he's at.
Those 4 minutes would be exact, if not less.
On the dot. Yeah, if you could find him,
I'll make
just
sure that he's safe.
let me know where he's at.
Mhm.
Perhaps that's what I'll do when I leave. I'll find him.
Have you given more thought on the other questions?
I mean, perhaps if I get out of here and kind of get back to my old life, I may have a different viewpoint.
Fair enough.
We'll give it time.
Are they at least treating you well, feeding you well?
Oh yeah, anything I need. If they ain't got it here, they'll go get it for me.
Any suspicions, any concerns?
Nah, nobody comes and goes except for the few.
Well, just wanted to come and check on you. Anything you need besides information on your bow?
So, I think I'm good.
I'll stand up and uh, look at her expectantly, waiting for her to stand up as well, and then give her a big hug when she does.
She'll stand up. And she will return the hug in kind.
Take a deep breath. Well, back to work.
Don't wear yourself out, brother.
I'll rest when I can. And then he'll head out, head back to the estate.
All right. You head back to the estate. I gotta write down his name. Galthar, Galthar.
N.
N.
Galtharn. Galtharn.
Tharn ends with an N. Okay. I was like, I know I gave him a name and I can't find it. Oops. All right. That will bring us to Evangeline. We'll go to Evangeline next. You head over to the Order of Truth, the Dirk Hall. When you come in, you know, a few people will give you a nod, and you immediately go and find Rockfin, Rockdiff. I was close. 4 weeks off. I'm surprised I'm remembering these names.
Roxanne.
Yeah, thank you. Now it's in my head. Rockdiff.
You're welcome.
And he greets you and says, Evangeline, what can I do for you?
You can take me to the Amber Pope.
Very well. Come this way. And he will lead you to the back room where you went before with the tapestry. And he will pull back the tapestry and he will kind of wave his hand over the wall and then motion you through.
We will go through.
Okay.
That would be Buckley and I.
Right. You go through the portal and you step out into that very large room. There's a desk over there. There's a table that seems to be like a dining table. You recognize the room. It's his office to the best of your knowledge. I mean, he is not there at the moment. You do anything?
Well, we'll just take a look around.
Okay. You begin to take a look around. When she steps through that portal, Fix, you no longer sense her presence. Although you're pretty sure that she went to go see the Amber Pope, so you were kind of expecting it.
Yep.
Getting used to it at this point anyway. It's like,
Right?
I never know where they're at.
Need to put a bell on her.
So you go on through and you begin to kind of just take a look around. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
That's a 29.
Okay. With your 29, you're looking around. It's almost exactly as you saw it before. When you kind of walk up toward the desk, you see some papers on the desk. Out to one of the side of the underneath the stack of papers, you kind of catch some words off to the side in one of the further papers down the stack. And looking at it, you have you see unrest, you see Yashul, and kind of making out about half the word, you see City of Bones.
Okay.
They look like
Right.
just scribblings, like quick notes, jotted notes.
Notes. curiosity. It kills me. I'll pull that paper out.
All right. It's like, are you gonna pull it or are you gonna leave it? Just all right. You pull out that paper, and when you pull it out, you notice that kind of underneath that it has some extra little notes in there. There's like Uxfin, there's Niliesh, there's uh, Empty Sanctum. You see Empty Sanctum on there. You
Teddy
see
Uxman.
Teddy Uxfin. Yep. you, you see Clock of Kala on there.
Things go bad with.
And there's several places on here, mostly places. Um, there's a few things that is kind of just jotted and scribbled off to the side that's like undead, ghosts, banshees, like things of that nature, kind of just scribbled off to the side. Um, not in the list. The list is more or less places, but off to the side is the just some creatures and whatnot. Um, and you're looking at that, and you hear a door as you're looking at this paper.
Okay.
Um,
I'll look
it
up.
Okay. You look up and you see the Amber Pope, which I know I gave him a name too. It starts with a K.
Yep, his name is Kilmock.
Kilmock.
Mhm.
You see K walk in. Kilmock.
Darmok.
Darmok. He comes in. He says, "Huh, Evangeline, make yourself at home."
I did.
Obviously, it was a little bit of supposed to be sarcastic comment. I'm working on my sarcasm apparently.
Lost on me.
Obviously, find something of interest.
Yes. What seems to be the problem in these places?
I'm getting more and more of the priests reporting in about strange sightings, strange happenings, um, things that have long since not been a problem have now come back, or at least according to the history books, has long since not been a problem, are starting to come back.
Are these issues that have taken an upturn since our visits to some of these places?
You know, part of me wants to say yes, but then there's these outliers like the Clock of Kala and Yashul, which I'm pretty sure you've not been to either one of those locations.
Hmm. So, I have to ask, the City of Bones,
Yes.
what kind of reports are coming from there?
Strange sounds, sights. That's mostly what it is. All of these places, really. I would liken it to things such as ghosts and goblins. Wait, I guess goblins kind of do exist. We
Well,
haven't had any kind of strange sightings.
we'll hope that it's not goblins. But if it is, we should be able to lay quick waste to them.
They're mostly just, you know, upsetting the followers, if you catch my drift. Unnerving. I don't think they've actually done anything. And most people don't visit the City of Bones. I mean, let's be real.
Oh, it's real.
Well,
It's easy to get in, not so easy to get out.
I would say so, I've heard, but I think you're the first people I know that has come out. I've sent a few people up there, but when they stopped returning, I stopped sending, so.
Speaking of places that we've returned from, I've just returned from the Feywild.
Ooh. He kind of perks up at that, and he goes, and he gets his. Basically, he makes tea. He makes some tea. He sets it down at the table. Says, "Come, come, do tell."
I will go and I'll sit and I'll tell them about the Feywild and what I saw and some of what I did and who I met, leaving out some of the biggest details, like Ordeeth being Kadeth's brother and the fact that he actually returned with us
Okay,
for
so you
now.
do mention him, but you allude that he stayed in the wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, any reports of things like liches?
I mean, from what I understand of liches, I don't know that we've really experienced any in quite some time, but from what I understand of them, I mean, now it kind of makes a little bit more sense that we're having an uptick. If we have a lich, they generally do with the undead. Okay. Everybody can still hear me, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, why?
Okay. All right. Because my
No.
computer
but I'm
just
not there, so
decided to do something and all of my windows moved and everything. Like I'm like,
Weird.
so I
Speaking
just
of,
wanted to make sure.
I said liches, not glitches.
I'm beginning to wonder.
um,
So anyway, he was saying that makes more sense. With all the uptick of the undead, they tend to use the undead as like their minions, and they sustain their own life by often draining the lives of others. What brings your attention to a lich?
well, I heard in the Feywild a reference to a lich, and I only know a little bit about them.
Well, that's
I
about
heard
the
the
extent of my
spirits.
knowledge as well. I You might have to find some more ancient races and dig through their books. Although the Great Library at Key might have some information. They have quite an extensive library.
Of the ancient races, which one would be the most likely to have the answer?
the marathon.
I mean, probably the elves. I know many of them reside in Ephraimon. Well, not just Ephraimon, but in the Baadenu forest. Um,
I know a few.
I figured you probably did. I mean, if you can talk to somebody, I mean, you said you were in the Feywild. Feywild does some strange things sometimes, and time is very different there.
Uh, so I've been told.
I
So
myself
I've
have
been
never been
told.
to the Feywild.
Do you know much about the Feywild?
Only what you have shared with me, and that things there are not always exactly as they seem, and time is a bit different. And, jumping back and forth to and from the Feywild can also cause some problems, time-wise.
I'm going to pull the locket. I'm going to pull a locket from my pocket.
The pocket locket.
It's a pocket locket. Locket pocket.
And I'm going to hold it in my hand and I'm going to say, you gave me this when I asked to be able to return to you.
I did.
And I'm hoping you gave it to me out of trust.
Well, I assumed that you would not lose it, and you would use it when you needed to.
I have not lost it, and I have only used it once so far. Mostly I come through the Dirkal. But may I call you Kilmok?
Oh, you may call me Kilmok.
Can I trust you truly and fully?
Well, of course I'm going to say yes.
Duh.
The question is do you? I say you can, but do you?
My trust has definitely grown. There was a point when I did not trust anybody at the order. And I did not trust the order was teaching anything about truth. I've grown. I am not the naive child I once was.
That you are not.
And I am looking for an answer.
Well, an answer I can give. Whether it's the correct answer or not, that's for you to determine.
Is this dress yellow or blue? Oh,
Yes,
No, it's
it
blue
is.
or
Depends on
gold.
if you're colorblind
Or
or if you're
gold.
looking
Yeah,
at
gotcha.
it on the internet.
Blue or gold. That's right.
It's a blue or gold. I see it both ways.
There was a point.
I think it's gray.
Sorry, Evangeline.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm just old. I lose my train of thought. So
People with
It
one
didn't
track
take
minds
any
are easily
outside help.
derailed.
I might tell you the same story twice, or 3 times, or 4 times, or 5 times. I'm seeking the answer to the question of what it was or what it is that the Order of Truth saw about me, or those, or they, or he or she. I do not know how far it goes. Seen,
It
saw.
is. It was my predecessor who first clued me in. The Order of Truth keeps tabs on all of their people, even when they leave the Order, as we have done your father. At the time, my predecessor saw something unique with your father and your mother. Um, and it was an aura. He described it as an aura. There was an aura about them that brightened upon your birth and then dimmed again. The aura remains, but it only happened during your birth. We watched them for your younger siblings and never happened again. So it was My predecessor, who encouraged your father to encourage you in the way of the order of truth, to bring you to us. While here, I encouraged Rockdiff and Renio to, to guide and mentor Phelan in your mentorship. Um, it was me directly who encouraged Phelan to send you on that mission.
You mean Leslie? My mentor?
Leslin, sorry, not
Yeah.
where did I get Phelan?
Okay.
Yes, Leslin. Leslin. To encourage Leslin to send you out on that initial mission. We knew you would need experience beyond the four walls of the Durkal. And it is a good thing too.
Did you expect for the gods to take an interest?
I did not. I just was not sure what this was all about.
Well,
And I have not shared, I want you to know, the aura of which my predecessor has shared with me.
okay.
Rockdiff, Renio, even Leslin do not know.
Hence why they can't answer the question.
Call it fate. Call it providence. Call it destiny. Call it what you will.
Call it a day.
Call it a day.
Has anyone accessed a seer, a member of the Third Eye, about me?
Oh, yes. Um, I personally, the only thing that I have received from a seer is that you have been set on a path by powers far greater than the powers of this realm. My predecessor, he never, the Amber Pope before me, he never sought out a seer.
Okay.
Of course, he was a little arrogant, dare I say. Nobody else knows, so they would not have sought it out. At least not to my knowledge.
Very good.
And if they did, they didn't tell me. How long do you intend on staying this time?
You mean here in the city of Bridges?
Yes.
Um, I would like to see a little sight.
All right. Good.
I will occasionally need to check in to make sure that I'm not needed by
Well,
my
you will.
compatriots.
Very well. All right. Well, I will take you wherever you'd like to go. He is in his human form right now.
I would like to change into my robes.
All right. Come. He will show you out of the office and into a separate room. The room you probably stayed in before, to be honest. And he will show you there where you can change. Kadeth and Ordeeth. And then you can think about anything else you may want to do. Cordeth. This is bad. We just have to combine your names somehow because I'm gonna do it anyway.
Cordeth and Odeeth.
Cordeth and Odeeth. Kadeth and Ordeeth.
Or just Cordy, you know.
Cordeeth. You head over to the temple. When you come in, you definitely get a few pages that look at you, Ordeeth. They pick up pretty quickly that you're not quite alive. They have been trained in the order of balance, serving the Raven Queen. What?
So as we're walking through, I'm gonna look at I'm gonna find the one that looks the most uneasy, and I'm gonna wink.
You're gonna see him the color just drain from their face a little bit,
Your day will come.
Right? They're not quite sure what to do with you, but you're walking in behind Kadeth, who they trust wholeheartedly, and so they're not quite sure what to do. Kadeth, do you search immediately for anybody in particular, or you just head to where the masters tend to gather?
Okay, we're in Key.
You're in Key. You're in Key. That's right. You're in the Temple of Key. Rowlett is there.
Okay.
Cedric kind of runs this temple, but Rowlett is there because Rowlett's working on the amulet. And yeah, that's the masters that are there.
Okay. Rollette's the one that knows about the stuff that we need, right? The how to get rid of the curse.
Yes.
Okay, then I'm gonna go find him.
Okay. All right. You kind of walk through a little bit, and you find Rowlett back in one of the study rooms of the library. He definitely has an alchemist table set up. He's got the amulet that he needs, and he's prepared to. He's already working on a little bit of the enchantment and whatnot, so he's prepared to do this amulet as soon as he gets all the stuff.
Well, I'll take him the parts that we've been able to procure so far, basically.
All right. And you do see him in his true form, which he did not appear that way at the Trinson estate. He appeared fully human at the Trinson estate, but here he's looks a little bit taller. He almost matches your eye level. He's got the bluish skin, and kind of the almost pupilless eyes, that are, I believe, white, or maybe have a little bit of a blue tint to them. I can't remember exactly, but I think that's what it is for him. And as you walk in, he'll kind of turn and he'll look at you. He said, Kadeth, you have returned. Did you bring the items?
I did, and I'll pull out the things you need. I forget what they even were, but
it was the blood and the horn, I think.
Something like that.
And so he grabs the blood and he gets the horn, and he goes over and he starts to kind of mash up the horn, starts to kind of pound it out to turn it into more of a dust. How was your travels? I see you have a companion.
Yes, that's a bit of a long story. How old am I?
I could see the resemblance. He's
yeah.
trying it in the horn.
Although you may notice a slight difference in how lively we are.
Ah, yes. Yes, I do indeed. Of
But
course, the skeletal hand on the shoulder kind of gives it away a little bit too.
true. But the Raven Queen seemed to be leaving it up to me whether to trust or not, and I've chosen to do so.
Then follow that decision.
And so far, he has been nothing but helpful.
Good.
Um, there is, I certainly want to talk with Erwin about everything at some point, but that can wait at the moment.
Erwin is in and out on occasion. He's been spending a lot of time in Ephraimon, of course.
Yes, there is a lot going on there, and although they seem to be slowly getting a handle on things, from what I know.
They will come along fine. They are elves. Elves are resilient, if not stubborn.
Oh, definitely stubborn. But that being said, um, how long do you think you'll need to get everything
He
together?
he grabs the powdered uh, horn because you've been standing there, And he grabs the powdered horn, sprinkles it into like this mixture, and takes the blood, dumps it into the mixture, spins it, does like a little poof as it explodes a little bit, um, and a little cloud goes into the air. He says, maybe about 5 minutes at this point.
Oh, well, I can send for Fix's sister.
You can take this to her. He turns around, he grabs the amulet. It's kind of on a string at the moment. And he takes it, slides it through, and takes the amulet and dips it down in. You see, the amulet itself is of that crystal because you guys gave him a crystal for that. It's the crystal. He dips it down in, and when he pulls it back out, it has a a golden red hue to it. It completely changed the color when he pulls it back out, and he kind of holds it out, waves his hand over it. I have to say, pretty good work. He hands it over to you.
And I'll make sure to get whatever instructions I need from him for whatever we need to do with it.
It's a wear and a tune, basically.
Oh, so she's going to need to wear this. So there's no removing it, just preventing it, right?
Correct. Um, the only way to permanently prevent blood magic is to permanently make sure all of your blood stays in your body.
Hmm. Hard to do.
Yeah,
But if this helps protect, then that'll have to be better than nothing. And I have a feeling she'll be grateful. If
that
nothing
she will.
else, she'll be grateful that she can move around more freely again. She's probably feeling a little cooped up.
Most of us would, although I can find myself lost in a library for months.
Agreed. But not all are scholars.
Indeed.
Very well. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah. So
Do you keep the sword out, or is it in a pocket dimension? I don't remember what you have.
No, it's just sheets at the hip.
It's just sheathed invisible.
Or
Okay.
no, excuse me, over the back. Yeah.
On the back.
It's a
Okay.
fact sheet.
Yeah,
Great
because
sword, yeah.
I keep mine hidden away.
Yeah, Kadeth keeps his hidden.
Wasn't that a trait of your type of warlock, though? I don't think all of them do that.
Yeah, no, not all of them. I couldn't
Yeah,
remember what order
that's
you had,
true.
so.
I do want to take him to the library and show him a few of the, or no, wait, I had taken that book back home. That's right, or back with us
You have a
somewhere.
few books.
Well, the one that
Tucked
talked
away.
about the ritual
Oh,
that
okay,
our
yeah,
mother
you
had
had
done.
that one.
Um, I'll wait till we get back to the house then for that. But
All right.
well, and unless he has anything he wants to learn here or anything like that, I mean, we can head
You,
to
Mm,
Fix's
No,
house.
not particularly. I don't have a whole lot of interest in the gods.
That's fair.
Kind of look down, so they haven't done me any favors.
Rowlett will kind of smile, and he'll say, "You may not have interest in the gods, but," and he kind of nods toward your sword. He says, "They definitely have interest in you."
Oh, certainly.
Just shrugs, like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess head back to the house.
All right. You turn to head back, and Rowlett gives you a nod. And Ordeeth, you notice he does not respond to you the same way like the pages and stuff were responding to you. He almost responds to you as if expected in some manner. Um, he just kind of knew, and he gives you a nod and gives Kadeth a little deeper nod and says, "Well, I'll be in town for another couple of days should you need me, and then I gotta head back to Yashul, but I'm here."
Well, for now, I think we're okay. We just have things to figure out still, but at the moment, just want to help fix the sister.
Very well. Let me know if it does anything strange. It shouldn't, because I'm that good. But if it does, just let me know.
Very well.
As you walk out, you get ready to head out of the temple, and you hear from behind you, you hear, "Wait!" And you recognize the name, you recognize the voice. It's Tatra.
Oh, Lady Tatra, what are you doing in Key?
"Come to give to you." And she holds out a hand, and in her hand is a card.
Oh, here we go again.
The card, when she's handing it out to you, it looks like it has like a tassel on it. You don't know what that means.
Like on the outside?
No, the picture on it. It looks
Oh,
like it
okay.
has a tassel on the picture. You don't really know what that means. And she hands it out to you. As you go to take it, um, picking it up, Ordeeth, you notice right away her eyes like roll back in the back of her head, and they're just white. Um, and she freezes, and Kadeth, as you kind of grab the card because you didn't notice her eyes, she grabs a hold of your hand. Well, as much of her hand as she can grab, probably one finger. Um, because she's because she's short like Erwin.
Yeah.
She like grabs a finger, and she says, "Judgment will return to the Shadowfell through the cursed city as forces there do swell, to conquer, contain, and there forever dwell. There also a key for a lock that hides upon the altar where she abides. Aid her in return to Clastun's side." And as she starts to release, She starts to release, and then she grabs again. She says, "But watch, for she who waits with rangers bold, the chalice was retrieved by one of old. If blood is spilled within, another she will hold." And she holds on to you for a minute, and then she lets you go. And her eyes come back.
Oh, I hope you caught all that.
I sent it to Rhonda so that she would have it.
Well, yeah, but I'm Kadath is literally saying
Oh,
that
okay.
to
Okay.
Mordith. I hope you caught all that.
Kind of shrugs like, yeah, I'm sure, but you see what I mean? You know, God's religion, it tends to muddle people's minds. I mean, I'll remember it, but that's a bunch of gibberish.
That's not unusual. Lady Tetra has, even she doesn't always understand the meaning of the things she knows or sees or whatever. Um, so, guess we'll wait and see what ends up coming of whatever that meant.
Does
Usually we figure it out eventually.
does Kadath relay that through the link? What was said?
Yeah, because I know
Almost
how.
simultaneously.
Yeah, it's like
Why are you
as soon as,
bothering me? I'm
and
just
it's really
busy.
the whole. As soon as I notice she's starting to talk, I'm like, oh crap, and I start just repeating it through the link.
Well,
Just
it
make
makes me glad
sure
I'm not
everybody
part of that
knows.
link. That would be like weird hearing it in stereo.
In stereo, yeah. You got an echo going on in your head. uh,
Do you think she means Strolduck's chalice?
It's possible. Um, the city was, I thought, was an interesting part of all that.
I would agree.
Just kind of reaching back and kind of stroking the sword hilt, and like something tells me I'm not going to be too happy with one of those phrases. That's for sure.
Hard to say.
Mm, I have a feeling.
Tetra kind of shakes her head. She's like, looks at her hand, realizes that you now have the card. She says, "Good, good."
Well, uh, hmm. I guess we will see what comes of that and do with it as need.
She kind of tilts her head a little bit and looks quizzical as you have stroked the sword, and then looks at you, Kadeth, and says, "Justice and judgment."
Yes, very much. I was surprised when I figured it out. But at the same time, somehow relieved.
It is it is a good thing. Uh,
I
the Raven
certainly,
Queen, the Raven Queen is making her move.
oh, absolutely. And I certainly wouldn't wish the requirements that may come with all of this on anyone else.
Yes, there are some that will take it willingly, some that will abuse it, and some who ignore it.
But I suppose we shall see what happens.
We shall indeed. Good, good. She turns and she starts to walk off.
You kind of look over at Cadets and like, is everybody out here outside the Fey realm this weird?
Not everybody, just people I tend to be around.
Gonna give him a smirk. He's like, not surprised.
She brings out the
I
worst
mean,
in
you
them.
are related.
Yeah, it was that older brother smirk, you know?
Yep.
All right. Is there anything else you wish to do in the temple or head back to the Trinson estate?
Uh,
Just that one little thing as we're walking out of the temple. I kind of want to look for that same acolyte that I gave the link to.
Oddly enough, you you see that one as you turn around to get ready to head out. They're standing like off to the side, kind of peeking out from behind the door.
I'm gonna blow him a kiss.
Oh no. They get really wide eyed, like not sure what to do, and then they disappear.
And people think I'm weird. Oh, wait, I am. Never mind.
I mean, he was uncomfortable. Why not make it worse?
Play into that uncomfortable. All right. You make your way
If
back through the
nothing else,
town.
it's a lasting impression.
That kid will never forget you.
all right. Well, I guess we'll head back to the Trinston estate.
All right. You head back to the Trinson estate, and you get there probably about the same time Fix does, because you get some of that messaging on your way back from the tavern. Um, and you see Forsyth up on the roof, kind of just shaking his head, like, "Dude, stop interrupting my sleep here. I'm busy."
Oh, and
And while I'm up there, while I'm waiting for them, I'm going to try changing into some of the shapes that I've seen in the book,
Okay,
in the books,
in the books. All right. Um,
and then get a short rest so I can regenerate it.
yeah, pick a couple of shapes. I mean, you know your limitations. Most things that are in the monster manuals are in the books. Let me see if there's another, like the Susky. Do you have flying? You have flying ability, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's what I thought. You are, along with some of the other creatures that you're kind of looking at, you do find a creature called the Kapha, which is not in there, which I can put it in there later. But it is
Okay.
a medium beast. It is insectoid. It looks like an
Mm-hmm.
insect. They are tunnel predators. They have wind resilience. They have a wing stroke attack and a bite attack. They look like
Oh,
this.
nice.
So I'll get it in there for you for
Okay.
your shape changes. So,
It's good
all
to have
right.
something you can scare the crap out of people with.
Yeah, it's a medium insectoid. Yeah, that's a little scary. Ah. So, all right.
Am I
Uh,
bugging you?
literally. All right, you make it to the Trenson estate. You realize Evangeline is not there. You figure that Evangeline is with the Amber Pope. Um, Arias greets you again, and the Jennifers prepare and make sure that there is a meal prepared for lunch, dinner. I don't remember what time of day it is.
I do want to. I'll search out. What's her name? Totally blanking.
What's her name?
The one that needs the amulet that I'm
Oh,
carrying.
Gidna.
She's
Well,
not
Gidna,
there yet.
yeah.
yeah, she's not there yet.
Oh, okay.
She's not
She's
there.
yeah,
Period.
yeah, she's at the tavern. So,
Oh, that's
Kadeth,
right.
you pull out the amulet, and you show Fix.
Yep.
You wish
Like,
to be the one to
hey,
present it to her?
I'll leave that up to you.
Perhaps we'll go as a group, or at least a trio. I look to Ordith.
You're gonna go with the Mordith.
I'd say it's completely up to you if you want to.
There are a couple things I want to check on before we head back, or
I
before I head back.
don't think we can hear
Uh-oh, did we lose
James.
your sound?
Seems we lost James's sound.
Well, that's weird. It was working like 5 minutes ago. Nope, still can't hear you. That's the strangest thing. Why does it
Oh,
do
I
that?
thought that was me.
Oh, okay, okay, it's the second strangest thing. Nope. If you
Hmm.
have to hop out and hop back in to reset things, that's fine. We can pause a moment. Yay, technical difficulties.
Gotta love technology. It's wonderful till it stops working.
Rhonda's just happy it's not her.
It has everything to do with our reliance on it and nothing to do with with anything else.
Mostly.
Yep.
Mostly that is true.
Okay, how about now?
Hey.
Yay!
Unfortunately,
Okay,
I mean, yeah,
so I missed what was going on. I could for like a minute. I had no sound,
Oh no! So
Jeez.
it cut out for
and
you
then I
too.
got sound back, but you guys couldn't hear me. So
All right. Made it back to the house. Kadeth pulled out the amulet, showed Fix. Fix said, "Hey, do you want to go over there and give it to her together?" And invited you to come along. Basically.
yeah, why not?
All right.
I mean,
Uh,
first time prime material. Go check some stuff out.
Well, and you did play a
Sure.
pivotal role in gathering
Gathering the stuff. Yep.
what we needed. So
All
I do
right.
want to check on a few things first before we head off. Give me 12 minutes and 36 seconds.
okay, I'm counting.
No, you're not.
That is rather exact.
No, but I thought it'd make you feel better.
At
uh,
30, 29, 28.
he'll go and check three things. Number one, he's going to check on the crystal delivery and then resell. See if we've made any money.
Okay. The crystals did get delivered while you were in the Feywild. And Arias has taken on that herself and has resold some of them. Um, so you have made some money to like the local magicians, um, a couple of the seers, and things of that nature. Um, and she has set some aside to be sent out to other locations, awaiting for your preferred locations to send those to.
Okay. I will get with her on that at a later time. The second thing I want to check is if my shield had arrived.
Oh yeah, I forgot about your shield. Yes, in 3 weeks' time, your shield should have arrived. I
All right.
forget exactly what it was going to do.
It was a plus 20 shield.
Plus, I doubt that. You're hard enough to hit already.
Yes. No, it was just a plus 2 shield.
Okay.
Um, and then last and not least, I'm going to uh, relay a message to find out about Gidna's boyfriend,
Okay.
or
Um,
at least ask somebody that's there.
all right. You get some information. Arias is aware because he's also part of the Jagged Dream. Um, and he said the last time we had contact with him was probably about 3 weeks ago. He was up in Shalamas, and that is in the northern side of the Steadfast. Key is like down here. Shalamas is like right up here. Oh,
Okay.
I smacked myself in the face.
Send word. Make
You
sure he's
too can
alive.
be a klutz. Oh.
um. Oh Lord. Um.
I made you lose your train of thought.
Yes. Uh. I'll just ask her to send word. Make sure he's alive and tell him to get here double time.
We will
Get your
send word
scrawny butt over here.
post haste.
Yes.
And she will get on that.
And then I will go meet back up with Kadath and Ordith, and through the link, I'll look to Forsyth and say, "You tagging along?"
I suppose so.
As a bzzz comes off the roof. Oh.
Look to them and say, "Shall we?"
Yeah, I'm gonna actually take
Yeah.
that creature form and climb down the side of the building.
It almost has a praying mantis like quality there. Coming down the side of the building.
So how big is this big bug that we're looking at? Roughly,
This
like
bug,
compared to
Same,
me.
about your size.
it's at least 5 feet, or well, three
Oh
feet
darn,
probably in
darn,
length,
there
and
goes that idea then.
yeah,
I was
it's
really
big.
gonna shock the town. I was thinking form a dread and then ride the bug.
Oh.
Give like
Big,
every child in town nightmares for the next month or so.
big insects
Oh,
and
I have one you can do that later.
whew,
Will fly,
yeah, yeah.
a large size creature.
All right, you head out to the Crown's Tavern, and and Gidna is there. She seems to be just drinking ale and having a bite to eat, basically. And she sees you walk in. She smiles again. Twice in one day. To what do I owe this pleasure? And then she sees Cordeth and an insect.
Well,
Could
we
let
have
my
something for
face
you.
do just a slight little form of dread
Sure,
shift,
sure.
just the facial features.
All right. It's like,
That lasting impression.
yeah, it's a lasting impression, that's for sure. You you have somebody extra.
Yeah. Well, he
Okay.
was very helpful because we have something for you.
Who you know?
And he was kind of pivotal in obtaining it. And I'll
All
pull
right.
out the locket
Well, it's a pendant, but yeah.
or pendant, whatever it was.
You don't have lockets in your pockets.
Only me.
I pull out the thingy, whatever the
That's the
thing
technical
is,
term.
The thingy.
the thingamabob.
Yay. All right. Um, she'll reach out and she'll take it. So what does this do?
Well, Once you get it used to you, as it were, it will prevent any further control through your blood.
It's probably a good thing. Should put it on.
Which means
You can never take it off.
you're in, you will be free to move around the cabin.
As it were. My cabin expanded.
Yes.
So long as that remains on.
Oh, if it prevents blood magic, I'm not removing it. I don't mess with that stuff. All right then. That means I can go home.
Yes,
In
it
about an
does.
hour.
About an hour. All right. Fair. That's fair. Stay. Join me for a drink.
Certainly.
I'll take a seat. I'll look to
Um,
Ordith. Do you drink? Can you drink?
I can drink all day, all night, and not get drunk. You want to do a drinking contest? I'll win you a lot of money.
That sounds like a horrible existence.
Tempting. Oh.
All the other things
Uh,
aside, like
on
the
the
not
flip
getting
side,
drunk
no
part
hangovers,
is,
but
but
no
the not
hangover
being
either.
drunk part. Oh, I don't know if you realize this about Vix. He's actually a dwarf.
yeah, Fix is a dwarf.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. I was gonna shrug and be like, man, I don't even taste it anyway. So I mean, kind of stick out the dead-looking tongue, no taste buds.
Hmm.
Everything
Hmm.
tastes like dust.
Well, you're welcome to join us if you'd like, or just be merry company.
Yeah, he'll sit down and he'll take a glass, just kind of toy with it, out of politeness, not really drinking, occasionally a little, but yeah, just kind of
Yeah. Okay. So you sit there and you
more
drink for
playing
some
with the
time.
glass than with the glass than anything.
Yeah. So for the next hour, you drink and you chit chat. Gidna is very interested in you, Ordith. We'll ask you some questions, kind of what Fix just did, you know. So what's this like? Do you eat? Do you sleep? Do you like? So she'll ask you all of those type of things, like,
How
Yeah,
many
I want to
how many
and
understand
she's
this.
drinks
like,
in do we get?
Um, Depending on how much you want to drink, you could easily get 2 or 3 at least if you're not really paying attention.
Strong drinks too, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, you're the only customers.
Yeah. So about 2.5 drinks in, Fix looks to Ordith and he's like, he kind of leans over. He goes, "So you can't?" He kind of points down under the table. Did that stop working too?
Fix is a little hammered.
I mean, there's no blood flow, right? So
so in response to that, gonna look down at him. I mean, I give him a little wink, like, let me know if you want to find out.
Hmm.
And
Well, I
try
can
not to
set you
bust
up.
out laughing at the end of it.
Huh. I've got some gold. I could set you up with one of the brothel ladies. We could find out.
Okay, so seeing that fixes pretty doing feeling pretty good at this point, I'm just gonna reach over and kind of tug on the beard. But I like the beard,
I'm sure some of them
and
have
I'm
beards
still
as
trying
well.
not to laugh this whole time.
It's true.
Well, I'm sure some of them have beards as well. This is key, but and he'll kind of just wink at him and lean back.
And that's where no longer gonna be able to hold it. I'm just gonna start laughing.
Yep.
And it probably sounds really strange because this is a being who has never once in his life laughed. So this is like literally the first time ever.
He's
So
experiencing humor. Unironic humor.
and then just slam down whatever's left in the glass and get a refill. Because why not?
You'll be the designated walker.
Oh no, I'll be the one staring drunk people in the walls.
Yeah. No, just trust me. Just keep going. It's an illusion.
I'm a warlock. I know these things.
I know these things.
Oh God.
Gidna's gonna have fun watching this. Uh, Cutting back to Evangeline. Um, you change into your robes,
I
and
actually will put my robes over everything,
okay,
tucking things like my crossbow and stuff into a bag of holding so that
all right.
it's not poking out.
You'll actually look like a priestess of the Order of Truth.
And plus, I have a mantle on that I yet don't know what it
Yeah, you
does,
don't really know what that does yet.
and I don't have it in my equipment because you haven't put it in yet.
I haven't put it
Uh,
in.
being over top of it,
For sure.
and I will straighten everything out and whatnot. Put on a little color on my
Rouge.
lips,
Get
pinch
dressed
my
up
cheeks,
for a night out in the city of bridges.
and I'm going to work it.
All right.
Knowing that what I know or what I have suspicions of, I'm going to work it.
Okay.
I want to see why he wants to show me off so bad.
Okay.
I'm going to let him show me off.
All right. He takes you and he escorts you through the city of bridges in his human form. Um, also in some robes. And of course, he takes you back to Maus and you chat and whatnot. You have a little refreshment with Maus. And then he'll just take you about the town. Um, as you go about the town, roll me an investigation, perception. Or no, I'll let you do investigation. You take your pick. Since you're kind of trying to keep an eye out of like, why does he want to do this?
Oh, we'll definitely go with investigation for a 30.
All right. With your investigation, as you're moving about the town, you notice that there are several people that kind of just give you a look, and they see that you're with him. You're both wearing the robes of the Order of Truth, and they get a little bit of a quizzical look. Um, you kind of are gathering maybe a little bit that like it's really only him here. Like there's not a huge Order of Truth presence here. It's really kind of just him. Um, and some of the people that look at you, you kind of get the sense from them as well that you're interacting with the people more. Like you go to the little shops, you go to the, you know, things of that nature. You're interacting with the people. You're getting a sense that he doesn't necessarily interact with the people a whole lot. Um, and so you kind of walk through the town at first with that. And as he gets to some of the ships and stuff, um, you notice that there are a couple captains of the ships because this is a shipwright town. This is where all of the great ships of the Steadfast are built, maintained, maintained, um, and whatnot. And so these are the shipwrights. And you will, as you go kind of down toward more of the dock area of these bridges, um, you do see all of the captains kind of stand and look. They take very high interest in you. All of the captains do,
Uh,
or what appear to be the captains of these ships.
I want to pick one. I am really, really, really suck at this, but I'm going to try to do an insight. Oh, I rolled a 19 on the die for a 19.
All right, with your 19, you are going to notice you kind of pick up there's just this one captain. He seems to be actually even in command of a few ships. He might actually be an admiral in a sense. Um, and
Is his name Browning?
no, his name's not Brown. Wrong world. Um,
Well, if his name's Browning, I
This,
want to hide my stuff. And
I
Hi-
mean, this
Hide your
is
wife.
Browning.
Oh,
This is Browning we're talking about. So the world really isn't the leap of faith there, whether or not he could switch worlds.
well, there is truth in that.
and really, you want to hide your wife.
Yeah, I do
Ah, no, no, he
hide
is
your
a
shame.
taken man. He
That's
is
true.
a
He's a
taken
taken
man.
man now. Um,
Nope.
Yeah, sure.
So so
Okay.
was Sebastian's.
um, so yeah, so this particular person, he's human, um, tall, rather. Even though he has a kind of a rugged look about him, he's definitely well kept. Um, his hair is pulled back neatly, uh, and his clothes are neat and clean. And he was
Hang on now.
I know Kilmock. Um, and you can tell from from your insight that they have a high respect for Kilmock, and anybody that comes with him, you're getting a sense that not very many people come with him to the docks. Um, they take note of who is with him.
Okay. They're going to remember me when I come back. I will I will fluff my Michigan hair. Um,
So
okay.
that's what you get. As he kind of takes you through the docks, he kind of shares a little bit like, oh, this is the, songbird. And it's seen several years of travel that probably in the next 5 to 10 years they might retire the songbird. And then he comes over here and he shows you another a boat that I don't know, calls it the wave crasher. I don't know. Um, he says this is a fairly new boat out on the ocean. It's got its name because it had to come back to port the first time it went out because of the roughness of the sea. But they fixed it. It does good now. They found what was wrong and got it all fixed. They fired that Wainwright. Anyway, then he'll go on and he'll talk about it like other boats, and he seems to have an intimate knowledge with these boats, which tells you he probably has an intimate knowledge with the captains and probably has traveled on the sea many times with these guys.
Okay.
So
I will in polite conversation say, "Oh, you seem to have a lot of interest in the boats."
I do like the sea. The sea sends to
Could be.
draw me.
I got eggs to lay.
It's like it calls my name. I like to go out with them
Have you
frequently.
ever thought about retiring and going to sea?
Oh, I have many times. I just the order of truth is not there yet. And if I were to go to sea, I would prefer to be in my true form. We'll see. Haha. Pun not intended.
But why not?
Okay, pun's intended. Let's face it. It's true.
Well, we'll have to see what we can do about bringing the order of truth about.
That would be most fantastic. Hey, perhaps in your next visit we'll go on a sea cruise.
would enjoy that.
I am quite positive that Jonathan, and he kind of waves his hand at the one you noticed. Kind of waves his hand at him. Jonathan. I'm sure that Jonathan would happily oblige.
It would appear that way. And as we're traveling about in the common areas, if there's any trinkets that strike my fancy, or
Let's see if there's a trinket that will strike your fancy. That would require me to have some dice. It's 8 o'clock. I haven't pulled out my dice yet. Um, yes, as a matter of fact, as you're walking past one stall, you see in the stall there is a pendant just hanging, and it's a large enough pendant that it doesn't necessarily have to be a pendant. You could alter it into a brooch or whatever. Um, but the pendant itself looks to be uh, a hand, uh, not skeletal. It's an actual hand. It's a picture of a hand that seems to have in its palm a a crystal ball, in essence, like it's holding up a crystal ball, and it's 3D. It's not a flat picture. It's a 3D hand, and you see that the ball itself has a beautiful blue like starburst in it.
hmm, I will ask the shop owner how much.
Oh, for this thing, he says, for you, my lady, merely 10 gold.
Well, thank you. I will purchase it because I have 10 gold.
All of you should have at least 10 gold. Except for maybe Ordi, who was running around the Feywild killing things.
I always seem to have an abundance of coinage because I don't do anything.
I just collect it. It's like shiny, pretty things.
And I will
Yes,
look at
shiny
it, and I
pretty.
will look at that. You said the star, it's the crystal ball itself. Is it blue with a starburst, or is the starburst blue?
The starburst is blue.
Grape flavor.
Yeah. I don't know. I always thought that was raspberry.
And I will take a hold of it, and I will look at the pendant, and I'm gonna look at it real close, especially that starburst,
Okay.
and see if I see any movement on it, or
All right.
sparkle, or
As you kind of really look at the crystal ball that's in there, um, you will see that starburst seems to twinkle. So it has that feeling of movement, but you're not really sure if it's actually moving or if it's a play of the light or whatever, but it does look like it kind of twinkles. You put it on. All right. He
does the
hands you.
blue match the blue of my robe?
It sure does. Yep. It's,
Hmm. Okay.
all right. You head back. Kilmock will offer you the room to stay in if you wish to stay the night. Of course, the portal is yours to go back to Key to check in if you'd like. He says, I will leave you
Can you get a
here.
message to Ructive?
I sure can.
Can you have him relay a message
Sure.
to the Trinston estate,
Absolutely.
addressed to I don't know, I call him Fix. Uh, what is your
Kofik.
name?
Kofik, but everyone does know him
Kofik.
as Fix.
A
Okay.
lot of people know him as Six.
I will have it addressed to Kofik Trinston
Okay.
and tell him with the Amber Pope going to spend the night. Should you need me, contact High Priest Rockcliffe.
Very well.
He will be able to get me.
Absolutely. He takes a moment. He actually pulls out. He doesn't do a message spell. He pulls out a piece of parchment, picks up a quill, seemingly out of nowhere. You didn't know where this quill was. Seemingly out of nowhere, writes this message, waves
Order of
his hand.
scribes.
Yeah, waves his hand, and the words disappear. He puts away the parchment. It will be delivered post haste.
Thank you.
All right. You guys are in the tavern for a while. Senior, if you're talking to us, I didn't hear you.
I'm going to, if I'm in a tavern, I'm going to take a walk around, see if there's anything loose.
Sure.
Just because I haven't done that in a while, and it's time.
Yeah. I was gonna say it is only you guys in the tavern. Um,
Oh,
in this one,
Yeah.
because this is the one that was
We've
rented out
essentially
basically
bought
for
this
Gidna.
place for Gidna.
But you are welcome to go tavern hopping. You can go pub crawling. That's fine. You're welcome to go pub crawling. You are in a relatively safe town. I mean, you know this
yeah.
town.
Safe from me or for me?
Safe for you.
Yes.
But yeah, you can go about town if you want to.
Yeah, I think I shall
Okay.
enjoy.
Roll me. Roll,
Go ahead.
roll me your sleight of hand. We'll see what you get.
There's a 26
Oh, nice. All right. As you're going
plus
about town,
14.
as you're going about town, you manage to pick up about 14 gold. Um,
Okay.
and in the process, you've picked up 6 smaller items. You pick up 3 small emeralds. You pick up a ruby. You pick up a ring, like it's a golden ring. And you pick up, what is the other item that you pick up? And you pick up, you just swipe a fan from somebody. Um, as you guys are finishing up drinking, it's the end of the hour. Gidna sets down the glass. Forsyth has, said, "Hey, I'll see you back at the estate," and Gidna says, "I'm ready to go home.
Then let's get you home.
Let's go home." And you head home. And about the time you get there, you see a
We're gonna take a
messenger
break. Oh.
walk up, and we're gonna take a break. Yep, because I need to pee and I want my real dice.
Oh, we'll be right back.
All right, we'll be right back.
And we're back.
Back.
We're back. Yes, now we're back.
Now we're back. All right. So as you guys make your way to the Trenson estate, Forsyth, I'll let you determine whether or not you're there yet or not, or you're still pickpocketing somewhere. You head back to the Trenson estate about the time that you see one of the Jennifers. That's it. Just all of your servants are named Jennifer from now on.
That's fine.
One of the Jennifers has come to the gate. There's a messenger boy there that's handing up a parchment that's like sealed to Jennifer as you walk up. And she's kind of like, I will make sure that Lord Trenson gets this.
Was that for me?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
She will hand it out to you. And the messenger will just kind of bow and take off.
What if I had a response? Like, he just left.
Well, if he
Okay,
just
then.
left, then there's no response required. This is just information, apparently. I mean,
Apparently.
he'd wait if there was a
Rude.
response or there
How
was a question.
Rude.
Rude.
I mean, at least he didn't stand there and say, "Please, sir, may I have another?"
Well, I probably would have given him something, but hey.
Well, that's all right. From the looks of it, it came from the Order of Truth. I'm sure he's being compensated well.
It's his job.
It's his job. She'll step aside and let you come in.
Thank you. I step in, I turn and I watch and see what happens to Gidna if she is affected.
Oh, yeah, because you didn't tell Philethus.
Not yet.
You specifically told him not to let Gidna in, actually. You mentioned her by name.
Yes.
Let's see what happens to Gidna. She gets about 2 feet into the gate and freezes with a little bit of a shocked look on her face.
Well, if need be, it doesn't protect against everything. I'll contact Philethus and say, please release my sister. She is welcome until I state otherwise.
Oh, and Gidna will move again.
Thank you, Philethus.
What was that all about?
Oh, sorry. I missed what she said. My headset decided to cycle or something.
It's like, she said, what was that all about?
Protecting the house.
From me? Well, okay,
Absolutely.
wait, don't answer that. I realize I did stab Mother, so that's fair.
You also destroyed the orrery that I spent years working on, and
oh, well, there's that too.
And you helped Gira torture our brother. Yeah.
Hey, I did not torture Gavian.
I didn't say you did.
If it wasn't for me, Gavian probably would have never left.
True. No. But it should not happen again.
That's valid. I don't want it to happen again either. Hence the pendant, right? I mean, that was the...
Yes. Well, I meant about the freezing when you walked into the house.
Oh, yeah, that would be good. That would be very good.
Now, we sent a message to your beau to find out where he is now and told him to head back.
That would be good.
I imagine you want to catch up and spend time with the woman you stabbed?
Yes. Hopefully she has forgiven me for that. We'll see how that goes.
If not, she will. Probably not the darkest secret our family has.
No.
I'd give her a hug and let her get on her way.
All right. She will head on into the house. Um, as you come in, you do see Arias and Gidna. They are hugging. There's some tears involved. Arias is very happy that Gidna is home, and they will wander off and to chat. What do you wish to do at the Trinson residence? You did get that note. Do you open it?
I do.
Okay. You open the note, and you see very elegant writing on here. Um, it says what Evangeline asked. Um, basically says Evangeline is staying the night in the city of Bridges with the Amber Pope. Should you need her, please contact High Priest Roxif. He will be able to assist.
Hmm.
And it's signed Amber Pope. Pope Durnet the Sixth.
I'll take it and stash it away, and I'll look to Kadath. So, what's the what's the proper response when one of your best friends breaks your brother's heart?
Why are you asking me?
Because you have a brother now.
For all of a couple days. You've had a brother a lot longer than I have.
I mean, you saw you know how we grew up. It's been more like a couple months at this point. Huh. Well, I guess that's a discussion to be had another time. He just kind of looks a little bit dumbfounded, like, WTF?
BTS, man.
What the? All right. You stay in town. Anything you wish to do for the evening? Evangeline is wining and dining with the Amber Pope tonight, and probably Maius.
I will instruct Arias to send a handful or two of the higher quality crystals to Shallow
Okay.
as a gift.
Okay. She will do so. She will personally handpick them out.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I will discuss with Miss about enchanting the robes.
Ah. Maius would say, or Maius will respond, I could very well do that for you. Um, it could take a little while. I would not be able to do it overnight. You may have to leave those robes here.
I will do that.
Very well.
Kadath, your enchanter friend, is he knowledgeable in things other than enchanting?
Speaking of Rowlett, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Kadeth, yeah, he is very knowledgeable in a lot of things.
Do you have something specific in mind?
The same question I asked you a few months ago. I'd like to ask him.
which was
He just gets a grin on his face. You think you can have him join us for dinner?
sure.
No, not with that grin on your face.
Not sure I want to now, but sure.
Wait, is this a matter of business or a matter of personal pleasure?
Yes. Yes.
Am I gonna like this?
I just kind of shrug. I'm not going to hurt anybody. I hope.
More to the point, will
Probably
he
not.
like it?
Yeah, would he like this? Yeah.
Do me a favor and don't warn him. But you remember that book that we found in Strolduck's library
I'm
with that
sure.
name that we couldn't read?
I'm sure Kadath does, but I don't.
Yes. It was
I think that
named.
Kadath would remember Fix asking him if he could read the
Oh,
true
yeah.
name of the Raven Queen.
Well,
Yep,
not only that, but Kadath tends to remember books.
Yeah.
that's true too.
But that one would kind of stick out.
That would kind of stick out just a bit.
Hold on, real quick. You're back at the house, right? At the manor.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you have a book that you can't read.
I have a name that I cannot read.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird situation with
I'm
that.
gonna hold up my hand. Let me see the book.
I'll look to Kadath.
Might as well.
Okay, so I'm gonna take it and I point out the word.
I take out the book and flip to the page, which is probably bookmarked at this point, and I'll point to the name.
Okay, so Eyes of the Runekeeper. I can read all writing.
Kadath, do you have Eyes of the Runekeeper?
I don't believe so.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Let me make sure, but
That's why I was able to read the runes on the sword.
no, I do not.
Okay, I didn't think so. All right.
But I don't know. I don't know if it is a language barrier or an obfuscation barrier.
Well, it is mostly an obfuscation barrier. You're looking at it, and you see this too, Ordith. It's kind of weird. Really focusing in on it. I mean, you can read a lot of things about this book as you're kind of glancing through it. There's a lot about the Raven Queen and her ascension to godhood and all of the stuff in here. But early on in all of this, it mentions where they're pointing. It is a name, and at first when you kind of glance at it, it just like it doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like you've read it and then it's like gone. It's like, oh crap, what was that? And you go back, you read it, what was that? It's like it just disappears. So when you really kind of focus in on it, you get the first two letters are SE, the last letter is I. The four letters in the middle are weird ruins that just kind of swim in your vision. And you continue to stare at this for some time.
Okay, real quick, I want to cast detect magic on the book, particularly on that spot is where I'm looking.
You cast detect magic and the thing lights. The book lights up, and that particular spot in particular, how many times can I say that word? That spot just seems to glow with such a bright light that it hides the word. Your detect magic has hidden the word.
Okay, so one last thing. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try a little experiment. I want to do dispel magic
Okay.
at 5th level.
Okay, you're gonna have to roll.
I figured that would. Oh, I figured I was gonna have to roll. But that's okay. Let's see here. That's what spell modifier, right? So
Yeah.
15.
15? Yeah. Nope. The
I
magic is
didn't think so. I
nope.
had to try.
Nope. You know it's gonna take some serious magic to remove that.
So I passed on what I was able to, at least decipher and what I saw in the weird swimmy runes, and explained what I tried to do, and said, "Yeah, it didn't work."
Interesting. I might give it a
Yeah.
try. I'll try doing the same thing.
Okay. Try that detect magic or that dispel
Dispel
magic,
magic.
specifically on the word.
Keep in mind that this is something I think that was hidden by the Raven Queen herself.
She told you not to read it.
No, well, I don't remember her telling me that, but
Well,
no.
well then.
Nobody knows her name.
Well then. I continue to cast it.
Never been told not to.
Yeah.
Just been accepted. Her name is the Raven Queen
Yeah.
or Matron of Ravens.
I'm going to use my inspiration point on that one. All right. Much better. 28.
28.
I
All
have a
right.
plus 10.
Okay. You cast that detect magic and you feel it kind of
Dispel
seep,
magic.
or sorry, dispel magic, and you feel it kind of seep into that word. And you feel that it starts to pull away some of that cloud. Um, and you are able to kind of briefly make out, as all of you are looking at it, you see the letters SERNARI. And you briefly read it, Sonari. Or Sonari.
And then it goes
For
back.
it goes back. Yep.
I looked to Kadath and Ordith. Did you catch that?
No, not really. That was, yeah. I've got Ordees has experienced something he's never really experienced before right now, and that's kind of a slight headache. Those swimming runes were kind of disorientating.
Kadath, did you catch that?
Yes. Very
Then I will leave it up to
interesting.
you who you share it with.
I appreciate that. And I don't
But I don't think we
know.
should go spreading the word
No,
lightly.
definitely not. I'm going to have to think about that before I know what would be most appropriate.
Well, being the selfish person that I am, I wanted to know for myself. I plan not to spread this out to others.
I just want to know.
Well, and that's understandable.
But now I have a reason to return to Strolduck and see if he still has his chalice.
True. I'm curious about that at this point myself.
Yeah. I think at this point, if it was taken and he knew about it, I would expect he would have let us know.
I would hope
There's
so.
always the possibility that he was duped the way that we duped Gira.
True.
In which
Hopefully
case,
not, but
I may be one of you that can tell the difference. Put the book away. But dinner time.
Quick question: how
yes.
swimmy were those runes? Would I have been able to at least get an idea of what language they or what type of runes they may have been, or were they just like really like?
They were really old, but you did catch the way they were moving about on the page and the shapes that they were making, you did catch that they were ancient. Like some of your patrons' books that you have seen had some runes similar to that, like really ancient languages.
Would I have gotten enough of a look to be able to draw them out?
Yes, yes, you would.
Okay, I want to take a couple minutes before joining everybody else. Number one, to try and get this headache to clear. Number two, I want to copy down those runes, and I'm going to give them to the hand, and I'm going to instruct the hand to by whatever means it uses to return that to my master and see if he can decipher that. So I'm going to be without my familiar for a while.
Okay.
A position
Yeah,
in which you're
I'm
unfamiliar.
sending thing on a
basically,
mission.
that's kind of what they looked like.
Okay.
The older they are, the simpler they get. But yeah, they look like those runes.
Yeah. So yeah, after that, I'll head over to where everybody else is.
All right, the hand jumps down with your note and starts to take off.
Adios.
Bye. He goes, bye. Did you want to invite Rolette for this dinner?
The question is, would Kadath had tried, like, would he still want to invite him? Because at this point, for Vix, I got the information I wanted.
Oh, well, okay.
But I mean, he did. Would Gidna like to meet the person who created the pendant that saved her, or that allowed her to move about?
She could. Um, but she's kind of, she's okay with just having her friends and family for now.
Then we'll have him over tomorrow as a show of thanks.
All right.
Have to keep up that whole noble appearance.
All right. Rolette is not too concerned about it, but he's cut from a different cloth. Um, so the evening goes by. You have some dinner. Maes asks if you would keep the robes, or if he could keep the robes. You can leave them with Kilmock upon your leave, and he will get on that as soon as he has the robes to work on. Not sure how long it will take. Would you like? He says, "Would you like me to hold on to them once finished? You're going to come back to me, or would you like me to send them somewhere?"
You hold on to them, I will come after them.
Very well. I will do that. He says, "As always, it's a pleasure to dine with you, Priestess Evangeline Forge."
The feeling is mutual.
And he will bid his adieu. Anything you wish to do that evening?
I'm going to take all of my little goodies like I do. I'm going to take out my book. I'm going to take out my orb. I'm going to take out the cards that are not complete.
All right.
I'm going to set my ink. Got my quill. And I'm going to use a parchment, not my book. I'm looking at everything that I have, including the necklace that I just bought, the pendant
All right.
of the necklace that I just bought. And I'm going to draw.
All right. You begin to draw. Free will? Not drawing in anything specific?
Free will.
All right. Go ahead and roll me your wisdom check. Wisdom? Yeah, let's do wisdom.
I got an 8.
8. All right.
An
I will tell
8
you.
plus nothing is an 8.
This is an 8. All right. So you begin to draw, and you're just kind of moving your hand across the page. And as you're drawing, about halfway through, you have absent-mindedly drawn this hand with the orb.
Okay. I'm going to look at it.
All right. You look at it, and you look really close. You're pretty sure that it sparkles. Look at the pendant. Look at the page. Yep, it's sparkling.
Hmm. I'm going to take the quill and put it to the book and begin to write about sparkling pendant.
All right.
Orb. I'm going to use the word orb. I'm going to kind of describe it, and then I'm going to look at the book and see if the book says anything about it.
I'll get back to you on that. Forsyth, is there anything you would
Yes.
like to do this evening other than just enjoy a meal and go to bed?
I think I'm just going to enjoy a meal and play with shapes and sleep.
All right. Try out a few more skins.
Yeah,
All right.
they're fun
They are fun.
and useful.
All right. Evangeline,
Yes.
as you start writing about sparkly orbs and pendants, a lot of strange things come out at first because there are lots of sparkly things in this nature. But as you hone in specifically kind of the one that you bought, um, it's you start to pull imagery out of the page. There is a young lady who wears a pendant with an orb like your orb. It doesn't have the hand on it, but it's like that orb. Um, you can't really see her face. All you kind of see is from chin to mid chest,
Where
like
you can see
where
the
you can see the pendant itself. And you see that, and with that, after you see that image, it kind of disappears again, and you start to see bright sun. Bright sun, the surname, emblem of the bright sun, and that's what you're kind of getting out of that. It's the emblem of the bright sun. The bright sun family uh, helped to found Philolio. Uh, Traveled north.
Fololio. That's where the ghost was.
Yep, helped to found Philolio. And then traveled north to Yoshlan. Yosh-Lin. Yoshlan.
SHL. Okay.
And they're settled uh, and built their family in Yoshlan.
Okay. Interesting.
You've not heard of Yoshlan.
Okay. I'm going to also, on a piece of parchment, I'm going to use my other ink, not my magic ink.
Okay.
I'm going to write, while I can recall it to memory, the names of the cities that I recall um, from the paperwork and the Amber Pope's office. I'm going to write that down. I'm also going to add
Okay.
this city to it, and I'm going to add the Bright Sun to it. I'm going to write Jonathan, ship's captain.
All right.
I'm writing all of this stuff down because I want to take it back with me and have it for memory. I'm also going to write the name of the two ships.
Okay.
And I'm going to take that parchment and I'm going to fold it up and I'm going to put it into one of my pockets.
Okay.
And I'm going to take the orb and I'm going to focus in on Gavian.
Okay.
Because I want to look for him.
All right. You begin to focus in on Gavian. You find that faint pulse. You know he's quite far from you. And as you're looking in on it, you see him crossing. You see him coming out of. Where are you from? You're from Thrice. You see him coming out from Weirfall. You see him on a ship, and he is headed eastward. Nope, sorry, westward. He's headed to Key.
Okay. I'll put all of my stuff away in all the pockets and all the bags of holding. And I'm going to pull out a book.
Oh, okay. You're not done.
One more thing and I'll be done. I just have to look it up.
Which book?
I'm going to pull out the book, The Papistry and History of the Order of Truth.
Yep.
And for the first time, I'm going to do more than just read it. I'm going to start studying it.
You're going to actually study it. All right. Remind me of that when you need to recall information from it. You begin to study that book.
And I'm going to read and study
Right.
until I'm ready, and then I'll go to bed.
And then you go to bed. All right. You all take a nap, an 8-hour nap. Get a long rest if you've used spells or whatnot. You get your wild shapes back and whatnot. During the night, though, Ordeeth, you experience something that you've never quite experienced before.
Humanity.
Yeah, you fell asleep. You fell asleep. Like, you didn't try to sleep, you just fell asleep. Um, and it was the weirdest thing. When you fell asleep, you kind of you dreamed. Even when you did sleep, like you forced yourself to sleep, you never dreamed. But you caught yourself dreaming. Um, you find yourself in a city. It's a very beautiful city, even though it's small. It's not a huge city, but it's still quite beautiful. Buildings are large. The people move about, very friendly, very interactive, very community feeling. Something you've never really experienced prior to running into this group. But it's even more so. And as you're kind of walking through the city, you see a darkness descend upon it. Something you're a little bit more familiar with comes down upon the city and just kind of shrouds the whole city. And you feel this almost this grip, almost of panic. Um, and as all of the darkness just comes in and you can't see anything, you get a moment of light in the city, in the city center, almost the town square, like the fountain. Um, you see a light, and it comes from a very small sliver, like no bigger than your sword blade. It's very small sliver. You go over to it. You're kind of just drawn to it because it's the only thing to look at this moment. So you walk over to it and you kind of take a look at it, and it is about the size of your sword blade. And within that light, you get a sense of someone kind of laying a hand upon your shoulder, kind of used to the skeletal hand being there. So it's kind of a little, it's familiar. You feel a hand on your shoulder, and you hear a whisper that says, and it's feminine, it's very soft, and she says, "Fear not, for what he does, I can provide." And then it all pulls away, and when that shroud kind of lifts up, you're standing on a street made of bone, and you see the buildings are there, but they're not nearly as beautiful. You see some spectral images kind of floating through. You feel the ground shift, and as you start to really look at the ground, you see skeletons beneath you, kind of one arm in front of the other, kind of pooling the city. There's just tons of skeletal movement, and then you wake up.
So upon waking, the first thing is going to be a loud "what the ever living," and then the second thing is upon thinking about the hand on his shoulder in the dream. It's not so much the voice and everything; it's the oh shit realization that he sent his familiar way without having the need to because he could have just contacted his pack master directly anyways.
That's true.
And then he's just gonna kind of sit there and ponder this, whole dreams thing because yeah, that's new.
Very new.
And I think as I'm pondering, he's actually going to take a minute and he's actually going to contact the pack mat, his pack bond, and let him know about the dream. And as an afterthought, about the runes that are on their way with the hand.
Oh yeah, there's this thing. Okay. You get a sense when you contact the pack, your patron. Um,
There we go. That was what I
yeah,
was looking for.
when you contact your patron, after telling him about the dream, you get a sudden flash of anger. Um, but then it goes away really fast. Like it was an instantaneous almost reaction, and then he pulls it back. There's a lot of things about your patron you don't really know, and
Oh, yeah.
perhaps this is one of the things that he just doesn't want you to know. And so he pulls it back really fast, and then
Should store that away for future reflection.
yep. And then when you tell him about the runes, you sense a familiarity. He does definitely have a familiarity on these runes. Um, but you get the sense that he's gonna wait until he has the parchment in hand.
Okay. And then it's like, get
Which
the hand back as soon as you can, please.
yeah,
Shoulder feels a little naked.
yeah. He will be returning that hand faster than now that he knows what's
Then I
going
was
on,
able to send it.
faster than you would think. So the next morning, everybody kind of wakes up. Evangeline, you wake up. Breakfast is prepared. You have breakfast before you. Same thing with the household. The Jennifers are very punctual and have breakfast prepared for the. We're gonna have to write a horror story about the Jennifers, like the Heathers. Anyway, we are. That's just I can't help it. The breakfast is prepared. It is laid out before you. You come to the table. Gidna is already there and eating. Um, and she looks like she's ready to leave the house already. She's gonna go do stuff. Arias pops in. Morgrim pops in. Morgrim is takes a little bit of an interest in Ordith.
Or he's just sitting there pushing food around the plate, just completely not paying attention to anything, like totally lost in this. I've never dreamed before. What the hell is that all about? Going through his head.
Copper piece for your thoughts.
Copper piece for your thoughts. Do you wish to
Oh, is that
share?
actually asked? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look up after a minute. Yeah, weird night. Just yeah, weird night. Still not too sure on all these people yet. So not sure exactly how much he wants to talk about quite yet. That and still sorting out in his own head like I freaking dreamed.
Death fix. You join the breakfast table. You see Death playing with his food. Or I just said Death. Or Deeth play with his food. I'm telling you, I can't. I cannot.
I
I think
can't
they
do
named
it,
him that
Captain.
just to confuse you.
As Fix walks in, he's gonna pay a bit of attention to his father because he did tell him to see if he could find his faith again, see if if he's wearing anything that would indicate such.
um, he seems to be wearing. He is wearing shades of blue,
Hmm.
which you've not seen him in for a while. Probably a very, very long time. He tends to shy away from shades of blue. Oh, that's nice. Um, but he seems to be wearing some shades of blue. And he has donned kind of the padding for armor. Uh, he's not
He's
wearing
not
full
wearing a
armor
holy
right now.
symbol, but definitely has changed the way that he
Hmm.
is
He
presenting
has
himself.
changed some of his presentation. Yes.
I like that color on you, Pops.
Thank you.
I'll walk over around the table. So, did you have a good night conversing with the mice or whatever you do? Looking at our like you don't you don't sleep. So,
So the dad's gonna look up. Yeah, about that. I did last night apparently.
and did you enjoy it? I mean, I enjoy when I get to rest. So,
Um, um,
It wasn't any
Not
more rest.
particularly. Had a dream. Yeah. Yeah. No.
uh,
I prefer to. I prefer not sleeping.
hmm, I could see why that could be a little bit jarring for your first time. He kind of just gets this telling somebody that it's their first time sleeping, kind of odd. Um, Did you? He gets a smirk. Did you dream of me?
And I'll look over. It's like that would have been preferable, but no.
Did you dream of foresight? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what it
Pick
was.
one.
Yeah, the bug. It was the bug.
Dreaming about the bug. That's what he was dreaming.
He smirks. Well, there are people that believe dreams have meaning. But
No, he's just gonna sigh. He's just gonna like uh, hash out the whole dream, including the words. So
So you
can
share
the
it.
mighty DM repeat
remind
the words?
remind everybody.
Yes.
Sure.
Well, he went to
Sure.
the city of bones in his dream.
You recognize almost immediately that he's describing the city of bones. The words that she said was, "What he gives, I can provide."
Okay, so Joe knows what's going on. I don't know if Fix would know.
Um, Fix knows because Ordith has shared that he does have a patron who provides for his powers and gave him his second life, in essence. Um, and that his patron is indeed a lich.
Hmm.
So I think that's about all he has given. Ordith knows his name, but has not shared it. The lich's name
Right.
has not shared it. But yeah, that's. I think that's pretty much kind of what you've shared, right? You haven't shared anything
yeah,
extra on that. Yeah.
yeah. If I remember right, it was not so much doesn't want to give the name, but is like specifically forbidden from speaking the
Right.
name. So
Like the name isn't necessary. I would think for deductive reasoning. Um, and if Fix wouldn't know this, please tell me. But he just kind of looks up and he's like, "Oh, you're being poached."
Yeah, essentially. No, I think Fix would be able to put that together.
I would figure with his decent wisdom, he would figure something out.
And I figure I would definitely know.
Yeah, Kadeth, as soon as he kind of talks about the voice, you've been visited in dreams similar to that. Um, Obviously, she's not
By
saying those
her.
words to you, but
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, but plenty of other ones.
yep.
Couldn't tell you who the woman is. I could guess.
Oh, and I'll just say I can tell you exactly who it is. And now you should know who it is.
Mm, That's that's probably it. But I mean, it could be any powerful female being.
How many others do
Not
you know
likely,
of?
but the one we're fighting against.
Eh,
You
I
are still
wouldn't.
in your warded house, by the way.
Yes. Well, I figure wards don't matter to gods.
True.
So, um, yes, most likely, I think you're correct, Kadath. But tactically, if I saw an in with an opponent's possible ally to gain their allegiance, why wouldn't the one we're fighting against take that opportunity?
True.
True.
But it
or
does
he's
sound
just
like
sitting
the
there
Raven
like,
Queen is trying to bring you into the fold. I kind of look at Kadath like, is that what you guys warlocky types call it?
Close enough.
at that, or he's just gonna kind of chuckle. Yeah, I don't see that as a thing, and hold up the the paler than should be hand. Like she doesn't like my kind.
Mm, I wouldn't
Who are
say
you to
that.
who are you to tell a god what they like or don't like?
One thing I've learned over the past couple years is that even she knows that your kind, as it were, has their uses.
Do you share some of the history you know, Kadeth?
Yeah, I'll share
Okay.
some of it, like briefly, not going to go in
All
extreme
right.
detail or anything,
Things
but
like she used the undead to defeat.
Yep. The reason, and Kadeth has learned this from reading and his own visions and conversing with the masters, that the way she ascended into godhood is she basically infiltrated Velsharoon's realm, the Shadowfell, fought him, caused his sword to break. She used the undead to gain her position as a goddess. And so she used the undead to do this, um, and with the broken sword, then forged it into two new blades.
To top it up, she's the goddess of balance, right, Kadath?
yep.
2 points to Kadath. And if I get these mixed up, I apologize. Justice, he points to Ordith. Judgment, points to Kadath. Life, points to Ordith. Death.
There are
And I'm not
certainly
even a follower of hers.
there's certainly some interesting aspects to this whole thing that are rather unique.
Kadath, your goddess is confusing, and I prefer just making really good stuff.
But God is very straightforward.
Like, make cool stuff. That's it.
Make
Like,
cool stuff. Forge with fire.
yes. So,
Food for thought.
food for thought, and as with many things in this world, it all comes down to choice.
Yes, it does. Evangeline, how long do you stay before you head home
Um,
or head back to Trenton Estate anyway?
I will have breakfast
Okay.
and converse with the Amber Pope some more.
All right. Yeah, he'll chat with you, of course.
And head back to Key before lunch.
Okay.
And as I leave, I will give him a nod of my head and tell him I will return to see him. I will be sure to come and see him at the
At the
appropriate time.
at the earliest convenience.
Well, I was thinking when my robe's done,
When my robe's done.
or possibly before.
Very well. You know your stay is always welcome.
I will keep that in mind.
And you will head out, back out through the portal. At the Trenson estate, um, about mid morning or so, Gavian comes. Gavian shows up, walks in, kind of sets down some stuff, goes upstairs to his room, um, knowing Evangeline has been in there, staying there for some time. Uh, sets a small package down on like his drawing table, and then comes back down and searches you out, Kofik. Fix.
Probably at the table or in my quarters making a lot of racket.
He will find you. Um, And when he does, now you're probably in your quarters making a lot of racket. You tend to do that a lot. He will knock on their door.
I'll stop. Yes?
Um, I'm back in town.
Are
Can
you
I
going
come
to
in?
open the door?
Okay.
Yes, yes. Yes means come in. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Just I don't know. You were making a lot of racket. Didn't want something
Or look at the
thrown at me.
forge.
So, uh, you, I thought you should know. There's some strange happenings. I mean, we got Nyliesh kind of under the right control, or at least the controlling forces that are beneficial to the Jagged Dream anyway. Um, but there are some strange happenings going on around there. We've been seeing some ethereal beings um, coming through Nyliesh. They don't seem to stay in Nyliesh. It's almost like they're just passing through, like they're travelers or something. It's very interesting. No
Did they notice
malicious.
those around them?
I don't think that they have, at least not yet. And there's been no attacks. There's been no maliciousness, no possessions that I'm aware of. It's just odd.
Hmm.
Um,
But
I yeah.
that is interesting. Thank you for telling me. On that note, we do have a house guest that is odd. Um, but at this point is to be trusted as a friend of the Trinstons, not necessarily the business.
Okay. Friend of the Trinson household doesn't know about the other side. Got it. Or at least we don't think he does. I mean,
Eh,
there are some people out there that know that we don't know.
there are many out there that know that we don't know.
True. Fair. All right then. Well, I brought the some more ink. Gallicos was
Hmm.
rather intrigued that Evangeline could use the ink. He was happy to oblige with another bottle. I didn't even have to pay for it.
Careful the gifts you accept.
Well, Galagos has helped us out on a number of occasions, coming in and out of Nyliesh. I
Good
don't
to know.
suspect he would do anything untoward.
Oh, I meant more gifts sometimes come with a cost you don't know of.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I mean, and he'll turn around, and I know you've seen it before, but he'll turn around, or at least you've seen what it started like, and he'll pull up, and he'll pull his shirt. Uh, the spine that had started on his back is now completely up to the base of his skull, and all the way down to where it disappears beneath the tunic.
Has it stopped growing?
I think so. At the very least, it's completely slowed down, like almost unnoticeably slow. At the very least, I
Hmm.
haven't noticed anything extra for about a week. So here's hoping that it stopped and it's just there. Although I have noticed some things about it. Um, I can go a little bit further. It's a kind of it's boost my constitution.
Hmm. What of your strength?
Not this. No, I'm still just as strong. I'm just as agile. It's not hindering my movement in any way either. It's just
I'll get kind of a grin. Still just as stupid.
yeah, no, it does not. It boosts my intelligence.
Mm,
Smart ass.
mhm. We'll keep an eye on it.
but I might be able to drink you under the table now.
Maybe. Don't think you could do that with our new friend.
New friend. I just came straight up here. I didn't even.
Yeah. His name is Ordith.
All right.
Tell you what.
Oh, please tell me someone's going
Bet
to
you
turn
a,
it into a drinking contest.
bet you 500 gold he can drink you under the table.
Bet me five. Wait, if I lose this, you already said I can't do it.
What?
If I lose this, I'm out 500 gold and have a horrible headache in the morning.
Uh-huh. I mean, have you looked around? It's not like you're hurting for money.
What you? Well, this is true. All right, let's do it.
Tell you what. Oh, I'll set up the. I'll. So long as he's willing, I'll set it up.
All right. Yeah, and he'll go about the house. He'll run into Gidna. He'll be happy to see Gidna. Um, they'll sit and they'll chat for quite some time. Um, as you kind of set all this up. Just before lunch, Evangeline comes strolling into the house. Well, you feel her come back before lunch. You feel her presence again in the city. If you want to say anything to her before she reaches the house, that's why I was like, oh wait, no, you'll feel her before she actually gets to the house.
Uh, I'll just tell her welcome back, and what you do in your own time's none of my business. But if your friend hurts you, it might become my business. Because to fix, he had no context. Just I'm staying the night with some dude. So like,
Signed, Pope
so,
Durhanastics.
yeah.
I tell him, thank you, and thank you for your concern.
Gavian's back, by the way. He retrieved the ink you requested.
Oh, most excellent. And I'm going to bring some information. I will see you soon.
Sounds good. We're getting ready for a drinking contest.
Wait, who's we?
Gavian and Ordeith.
Fix.
Elf.
He just got back.
It's a welcome home present. What can I say?
For who? You or me?
You're welcome home. My repayment of decades of torment.
Fair.
I'm not gonna kill the guy.
I'll prepare my spells.
He'll pass out before he dies of alcohol poisoning.
Whatever your nanites did to him, he's saying they boosted his fortitude.
I have yet to discover what mine are doing for me. Obviously, not helping my wisdom any.
Ain't making you any wiser.
Well, try not to let him get hurt.
Ah,
I'll be there shortly.
he's still in the family. I'm not gonna let him get hurt.
A
Mud.
drinking contest with the dead guy.
Hey, he took the bet.
It'll go right through him.
We're gonna have really stupid children, you know that.
Hey,
Foolhardy,
YOLO.
yes. Stupid, no.
All right. You get back to the house. You've had this conversation as you're traveling.
As I walk through the door, I look for fillet of fish.
He's standing in the foyer.
I will stop. I will eyeball him as I walk through.
You get no reaction. Surprise.
Really? I think I'll have a heart attack and die. I know you're in there.
All right. So you plan for this drinking contest. It's lunchtime. There's some food out. Gavian will eat some.
I asked one of the Jennifers to get the good stuff.
Oh. She'll smile. She'll say, of course. She'll go back.
Ordeep doesn't even look at the food. He just like legitimately just starts drinking right there at the table already before the contest.
It's like, oh, I'm on my third drink already. Okay. She pulls out the good stuff and sets it down. Gets a couple of mugs filled out. Pours a couple of more just in case. And Gavian smells it. He's like, yeah, she got the good stuff, all right. So you must be Ordeeth. I have challenged you to a drinking contest against my better judgment. I'm just gonna throw that out there right now.
Your funeral.
I mean, Gavian,
Yes.
there's only slight dishonor in backing out now. So if you'd like to.
Nope, I'm in. Let's go. So he will begin to drink. Oh, that's beautiful. Roll me a. You're immune to
For
all
a
of this.
drinking contest, it's gonna be a Constitution.
I
you
know, but you're immune to half of it. Roll me a Constitution with advantage.
Let's see here. That's 22.
Oh yeah. You throw back the first one and just kind of look at him, and he's already a little like, woo. This is definitely the good stuff. You can already see it kind of affecting him. He holds out for the second drink though. Roll me another Constitution.
Another 22.
Holy crap!
Fix
The
grabs a
second-
drink and watches.
Yeah, the second one he knocks back. He's kind of adjusting to this a little bit, and it's not affecting him quite as bad for the second round. The third round. Roll me one more.
That's a 23. Other than that, 20 plus 3.
He did not roll as good on his third time, but he gets about halfway through the third one, and he sets it down. And this is all taking place in like, I don't know, 20 minutes tops. He gets about halfway through the third one, and he puts it down. He's like, yeah, no.
So I'm gonna reach across. I'm gonna grab the half finished one. I'm gonna down it. Take it off.
All right. I have to. Yeah. Remind me not to do that with somebody who's mostly dead next time.
I'm gonna walk through the room. I'm gonna punch Fix in the arm.
I'm gonna
And gather
start-
up Gavian.
It's a bit of work to get him, to upstairs or
Before they leave, is Forsyth there?
Yeah.
probably.
You think your lesser restoration would cure him of his current ailments?
Let me see if I have that one on tap, because I know I have greater, but I'm not sure if I have lesser available right now.
Greater would do if you don't mind expending the energy.
Yeah, I can go ahead and use greater on him because I don't have the lesser.
All right. Forsyth says, hold up.
Here, we can get rid of that headache for you.
I can see clearly now.
Go in peace.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm gonna look over at Fix and like, yeah, where's my half? I did all the work.
I smirk and I look to Gavian. Give him the full 500. He earned it.
All right, all right. He'll disappear for a minute and then he'll come back with a pouch and he'll hand it to you. 500 gold. Don't know if you'll need it, but hey, now you have it. Or probably hand you a pouch with 50 platinum. It's lighter. All right.
Oh shit.
Um,
I will say, onto a more serious note, I will pull my paper from out of my pocket and share what I read about Yashul, the City of
Yashul.
Bones,
Oh, yeah.
Uxfin, Niliesh, the Empty Sanctum, and the Clock of Kala.
All of these places experiencing sightings of banshees, you said? I think that's what was said. I'm may be misremembering.
A collection of things you would consider undead.
Undead, yes.
How long has this
None
been
of them have
going
been
on?
visited by Ordeeth.
Yeah. How long has this been going on?
Um, oh
Uh,
shoot. It's been happening since we've been to the ones that we've been to, but doesn't seem to have a correlation necessarily.
it's
I'd like
happened
to
since you visited them.
Yeah.
But some of these cities,
But-
obviously you have not visited, and it's been
Yes.
happening.
So it's not likely connected directly
To
with
to
us
us
visiting
visiting.
one, but
being there. However,
How
but
long
at the
has
same
Niliesh
time,
been? I'll look to Gavian since he's been there. How long has this been taking place?
Um, as best as I could gather, it started about 2.5, 3 weeks ago in
About the
Niliesh.
time we went to. About the time we were in the Feywild.
Yeah.
Ordeeth, you're the closest to an undead that I know. Any ideas?
Um, hmm. Well, I haven't had a whole lot of experience with other undead per se, so spent most of my time, either locked up in the void there or in the Fey realm.
Hmm.
the portal. Who's watching the portal since we killed the one?
Um, Sandra is in the Feywild. If that's the portal you're talking about.
What?
If that's the portal you're talking about, the Feywild portal.
Yeah.
You left Xandra in the Feywild. She did not say she would stand there and watch it, but
We can check on that. But we were still in the Feywild 2.5, 3 weeks ago,
Yes.
and we had not killed the Guardian yet.
Her yet.
Pardon my accusation, Ordith, but any connection to your patron, do you think?
I don't know. Would there be?
I mean, there could be if your patron was gonna like make a move, so to speak. But as far as you can tell, most liches are usually pretty quiet. They don't exactly, they might control their area, but they don't exactly try to spread out across the whole
But
world.
yeah, they. Yeah, so
Or
I'll
across
relay that.
plains.
Yeah, or across
Yeah,
plains.
they don't exactly want to draw
Preferably.
attention to themselves.
Exactly.
In the same respect, not many liches take vassals.
There's that.
Of course,
That's fair.
I
from what
don't
we've been
think
able to figure out, I am a rather unique case, so that could have been part of it.
possibly. I think your patron may be a unique case as well. Maybe even to the point of an arc lich.
Would skinny vassals be Vaseline?
Could it have anything to do with the proximity of the two swords to each other? Obviously, they have not
Hmm,
been together in quite some time. Possibly even ever since the original sword was broken.
possibly. But for the most part, one of them is in a different dimension, a different plane of existence.
Keisha. Pity
But
What?
you gods.
but when they are both present,
It could have an effect.
after all, until a couple of weeks ago, I mean, the swords had never met since they've been broken, as far as I know. Kadath,
To the
you would know
best of
more
my
about that.
knowledge, to the best of my knowledge, once the swords were broken, over time they. Do I know if they were assigned or if they were given to two different people, or I don't. I don't remember how it is
Um, with
in
when you read
this
the
version.
history, you read about justice and judgment being the swords that were forged from the original sword. Um, but over time, it's very vague in the history books. Over time, it just talks about the champion's sword, singular, the champion's sword. So at some point early in the sword's reforging,
One of
um,
them
they
went away.
were separated by to some degree.
So they they haven't been together very often, basically. So, I mean, I don't know if both of them existing on the same plane would have an effect like this or not. I can't see why it would, but that doesn't mean it doesn't.
Well, I think there's one person that may be able to tell us if we're able to commune with her.
True. I can certainly try.
You can certainly try.
She may be willing to give me the information, but it's hard to say.
So when the sword was whole, it had the power to control the undead, correct?
It was Velsharoon's sword.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was Velshrunes, so I would imagine it had some level of power with that.
Based on my knowledge of forging and forging of deity level items, such as my armor, separating the blade being broken at that level of power, would it dispel the magic or just split it?
To some degree, or to some items that are forged, general magical items that are forged, oftentimes, if that magical item is broken, it is dispelled. It is no longer able to use the magic that was placed upon it. Now, the fact that the sword was forged by a god, infused by a god, and then broken by a god, reforged by a god, more than likely the power just got split.
There's a lot of caveats going there.
Yeah.
This sword has been in the hands of a lot of God.
Hmm. So there could be very well be credence to the theory. So then the question is, what do we do to stop it
Um, I really don't know.
before something bad happens?
I mean,
I
we could just go
honestly
there and see what happens.
don't have a clue.
There's got to be a reason they wanted both these swords together.
I think the better question is, what's the reason they wanted them apart? Why did the god not just reforge them as one? You can forge weld the two pieces together.
I can give a supposition on that at least, based on my knowledge of the Raven Queen. I think she would have wanted to keep them apart to help keep the balance. Because in some ways, in many ways, it's better to have that power split between two
Hmm.
instead of one being holding all that power.
Oh, fix. I just grabbed the bridge of my nose. Do you remember your message?
My message?
Yeah,
Which one?
Yeah,
judgment.
Evangeline hasn't
Oh,
really.
let's see.
Judgment. He points
Let
to
me look at
Ardith.
it again.
Will return to the Shadowfell through the cursed city as forces there do swell. To conquer, contain, and there forever dwell.
Yeah.
They're also a key for a lock that hides upon the altar where she abides. Aid her return to Claston's side.
Who is Claston?
You have no idea.
I will open the book and see if there's anything about Claston.
All right. And with that, sitting around a table, chatting, remembering the words of Tatra with the some of it seems ill-fated, but perhaps not. I mean, conquer, contain, and forever dwell. I mean, you could become Lord of the Shadowfell. All right. So, um, I
If you
mean,
do
there
that,
are.
there's somebody we need help with,
I
So,
got friends in high places
and friends in low places.
and friends in low places.
All right. So with that,
Now
we
I
are
got that
gonna.
song stuck in my head. Damn it.
All right. With that, as Evangeline flips open her book, we are gonna close out, and the words "to be continued" is gonna go across the screen. Um, so we are going to close out for this session. Thank you for sticking with us because we did run over a little bit. We had some good conversation, thinking through some things, and I didn't want to break that up. So thank you for sticking with us, and be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, share our video, and visit our website danddadjokes.com, where you can find all of the events that we're going to be a part of, and you can catch up on this story up to this point if you've joined us for the first time. So that's all under the town crier. So read through it. And I believe that's it. Any final words?
Uh, to Kettle, sorry we missed your
Yeah,
message there. Um,
Oh,
I'm now
glad you tuned
curious.
in.
Yeah, glad you tuned in. Thank you. Wish I knew which part you were talking about. So, um,
well, did he have a
Oh,
question?
that message was 10 minutes ago.
Oh, so really recently.
So
yeah.
tuned in maybe in time for us to be done.
Well, you guys were discussing the the riddle, the poem.
Oh, that's true. The
The
riddle.
riddle.
Ah,
So yeah. So check it out. If you want to catch up to the story, go read the town crier on our website. You can catch up
Or
to this point. So I think that's it. We'll be back next week, same time, same channel. If you turn on the notifications, you'll be alerted when we go live. So I think that's it.
all right.
All right, that's it.
Have a great night, everyone.
We'll see you next.